Okay, so we're going to do a little Would You Rather segment using Silver Prism PSA 10s. And the reason we're using Silver Prism PSA 10s is because they're the most liquid. They sell 5 to 10 times a day on eBay. They're all over sports card shows. If you have a Silver Prism that you buy September 1 and a guy 2 or 3Xs, you can liquidate that card so fast on eBay. You don't have to find a buyer or wonder who's going to purchase it. Remember, guys, when you buy a card that is a little bit more unique or from a product like an Illusions or an Origins, you might not have a buyer lined up right away or as fast as you would with a Silver Prism. So, the first two players we're going to talk about are CJ Stroud and Brock Purdy. Stroud Prism Silver PSA 10 Pop 2187 is $400 right now. In comparison, Brock Purdy, also $400 PSA 10 Silver Prism, Pop 607. So at first, I'm going Purdy all day because there's 1/3 the amount of PSA 10s. What do you think about that?
I think Brock Purdy is not 1/3 as bad as CJ Stroud, so I'm going with Brock Purdy. Pop matters. I think Stroud's a better quarterback and might win MVP, but if it's a lower pop card, I'd rather have that because it's just more collectible. You don't want to see, like you said, they're liquid, but you still don't want to see sales of the card every single week because then you can't really like dictate a price. It's not going to be like hard to come by. So I think Brock Purdy with a pop of 607 is the better pick.
Now we're going to move over to the NFC East. Jayden Daniels, or your favorite player in the league, Jalen Hurts. Jayden Daniels Prism Silver PSA 10 Pop 471 is selling for $1,000. Super Bowl champion MVP Jalen Hurts Prism Silver PSA 10 Pop 338. So 140 or 130 less is selling for $600. And this is why the sports card market has no idea what they're doing. Because Jalen Hurts already has something that Jayden Daniels may never have. Potentially two things: a Super Bowl championship and a Super Bowl MVP. Now, listen, most likely if Jayden Daniels did win the Super Bowl, it'll probably be because of him, and he'll get an MVP, and he would have both. He's got a long road to go before he wins a championship. There's no way, as a guy who follows football and is in the sports card market, that I would ever pay more money for a Jayden Daniels over a Jalen Hurts. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I'd rather pass on both of these. I think
That's not an option, Ethan. You can't pass on both.
I'd rather buy a Charizard or a Pikachu than these guys because they're better players in general.
Listen, if you were a Cowboys fan or a Giants fan, I could see your bias because they're both in the NFC East. You're a Chiefs fan, dude. All right? You live in the AFC. You're not even in the NFC. The only reason you don't like the Eagles is because they beat you in the Super Bowl, okay? And listen, by the way, you already beat them. So it's 1-1.
I don't hate the Eagles. I hate Jalen Hurts.
Why?
Because he's not good. That's why he's like, I don't want. It's like Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. We're not here talking about Trent Dilfer anymore.
Trent Dilfer and Jalen Hurts are nothing alike. And also, Trent Dilfer did not win the MVP.
Dude, listen, I am going to take Jalen Hurts here because Jayden Daniels, as I've said before, is just Robert Griffin without an injury. Both of these guys aren't good. Jalen Hurts is cheaper and won a Super Bowl. I mean, go Jalen Hurts, but just I'd rather go buy any other player. I mean, go buy Saquon. Go buy Brandon Graham cards. He won the Super Bowl more than Jalen Hurts did.
That's insane, number one. Number two, Jayden Daniels is so overhyped. And by the way, the sports card market does this with a player every year or every other year. Justin Herbert, they did it with, right? Then they did it with
Brock Purdy.
They did it with Purdy. They did it with T-Law Fields.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones, 100K, Black Finite. We always talk about that sale. So this happens every year where guys are just way overhyped. Jayden Daniels has that kind of fantasy allure to him, so he can always kind of stay relative in the conversation, I think. It's just there's no argument. I do not care. And if somebody's arguing with me, they already have Jayden Daniels cards or they're a Commanders fan, that Jayden Daniels should be worth more than Jalen Hurts because that is so stupid.
But Jayden Daniels is the better player. Jayden Daniels makes big plays. Jalen Hurts is a game manager. I don't know. I'm taking Jalen Hurts for the Super Bowl. I'm not big into either of these guys. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it, Jayden Daniels is a better player than Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is not a game manager. Okay, moving right along to two more quarterbacks who are both more expensive than Jalen Hurts for no reason. Justin Herbert and Jordan Love. Herbert, Prism, Silver PSA 10, Pop 211. By the way, of all the cards we've listed today on Silver PSA 10s, Herbert has the lowest pop.
Oh, Jordan Love.
He's at 850. Oh, until I get to Jordan Love, who's pop 189. Love Prism Silver PSA 10, pop 189, selling for $700. Jordan Love being more than Jalen Hurts is criminal. Justin Herbert, the only reason, everybody who's watching right now who is not in the sports card market, I'm going to put you on some game. I'm going to give you a small education. The only reason that Justin Herbert is worth more than Jalen Hurts, and majority of these guys right now outside of Jayden Daniels, is because everybody who bought Justin Herbert cards in 2020 and 2021 overpaid by 3 or 4x. All right? And now they've been sitting on these cards and nobody's selling because nobody wants to take a huge L, and that's why his price is staying somewhat high. I don't even dislike Herbert. I like Herbert. I like Harbaugh. I root for Herbert. I am not a buyer of Herbert in any scenario.
I own 3 Justin Herbert National Treasure RPAs. I own a cracked ice auto also. I think Justin Herbert's really good at football. I also like
the next question before you go on is those 4 cards were purchased in the last 12 months?
Yes,
correct.
Last 3 months. I think he's going to be good. I think
but
the Chargers
that's okay
are be
because you didn't overpay.
No, I'm going to sell him for profit. But here I'm taking Jordan Love. And the only reason is because the pop count's at 189 because who's grading silver Jordan Love prisms? Because that's a weird submission. But I'm taking Jordan Love because I think he has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl because he's in the NFC, which is dog shit. I think Justin Herbert is going to have a good season, but he has to get through the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals. It's like there's the Steelers, the Texans. It's just stacked.
When does it end?
Yeah, when does it end? Exactly. Well, I'll tell you when it ends. It ends with Jordan Love making the Super Bowl and Justin Herbert getting kicked out in the first round of the playoffs. So that's why I'm taking Jordan Love.
There's absolutely a less than 1% probability of Jordan Love being in the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert losing in the first round of the playoffs, I would say closer to a 99% probability.
It's tradition for the Chargers.